Hi everyone. Just wanted to make a quick video here on how we'd like to see areas colored on our maps at Field Camp. And so each map will have a corresponding color for different units. We tell you what that color is in the handout we have for each area. And so on this map of Pioa, I've drawn an arbitrary shape. This is not a real contact of any kind, but just a shape I can color in to show you how I would do this. There are a few things you want to keep in mind when you are coloring your map areas. And the most important thing is that you don't want to color too hard. You don't really want to color very hard at all. You should be able to clearly see the topo lines through your coloring. That should be sort of your mantra as you're thinking about coloring these maps. Depending on the type of colored pencil you use, you'll have to add more or less color. But the way to do that is in very fine layers, very light layers. What you don't want to do is press really hard and make all these scratchy lines. So what you want to do is get your pencil. So I'm using a red color here. Say maybe this was the nugget formation. And I've got it sharp. And I'm just going to hold it on its edge. And I'm going to very lightly color in the lines. Right now, you might not even be able to see much red on here. But I'm going to go through, trying to stay in my lines. I'm going to color in this entire shape, moving my pencil back and forth in one direction, trying not to push too hard. Sometimes I'll turn the pencil. All right, so that's a pretty good first pass. It's a little red. What I want to do now is I'll turn the paper and I'll do the same thing again in another direction. And work hard to stay in those lines. I can see the topo lines. It's pretty red. I'm going to do it one more time, another layer. I'm going to turn the page again. If I need to sharpen, I'll sharpen. And this is how you get more pigment down. You get a deeper color without obscuring the topo lines. Make sure I get the edges that I want. Okay. That looked a little light to me. So that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty red. at this point. And now what I can do to make it even a little smoother, you could see some streakiness in there, like that right there where I pressed a little too hard. You can use a blender. So these, I think I got this for 25 cents. It's just a paper blender. I can peel pieces of it off or cut it when I need to. Or you can use just some tissue balled up with your finger, and you can smooth out your lines. Okay, so now I have an area that is nicely colored. It's smooth. You can't see the pencil lines. You can see through the topo lines to see what's there, but it's clearly a red color. If this was, say, the nugget, I would also color in the same way my box on my strat column, trying to match that intensity. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to give it a quick smoothing. All right, and I might go back and clean up some edges. So I see I've gone a little over the line there with my smoothing. I could use a big eraser or a small eraser just to get right at the edges. Another way I could have prevented that in the first place is with some tape. So if you take a little bit of masking tape, first what I like to do is stick it on my jeans or something so it gets a little bit of fuzz on it, makes it easier to take off. And let's say I was worried about this little area here. I could take some small pieces of masking tape and just use that to mask off this area. Lots of small pieces here, just on top of each other. What that helps you to do is, if I wanted to go in there and darken that, I could go in right around that masking tape, smooth that out, and then as I lift up the tape, I'll have a clean line right there. That's how we'd like you to color your maps at camp, nice and smooth and light, so you can see those topo lines in between. All right, thanks. Hope that helps. See you next time.